Hello, Squirrel Squad. I am very sleepy. Slept great last night, but just got up a little while ago, so I'm not sure how much I'll get read, but we'll see. Don't suggest that we are growing old, my lord. We have only bloomed. Don't suggest that we are growing old, my lord. I think that's how we say it. We have only bloomed, and a very nice bouquet we make, and our buds about us, answered Mrs. Amy, shaking out the folds of her rosy muslin with the air of dainty satisfaction the girl used to show in a new dress. Not to mention our thorns and dead leaves, added Jo with a sigh, for life had never been very easy to her, and even now she had her troubles both within and without. Come and have a dish, like I said. Come and have a dish of tea, old dear, and see what the young folks are all about. You are tired and now want to be stayed with flagons and comforted with apples, said Laurie, offering an arm to each sister and leading them away to afternoon tea, which flowed as freely on Parnassus as the nectar of old. They found Meg in the summer parlor, an airy and delightful room, full now of afternoon sunshine and the rustle of trees, for the 3 long windows opened on the garden. The great music room was at one end, and on the other its deep alcove hung with purple curtains. A little household shrine had been made. 3 portraits hung there. 2 marble busts stood in the corners, with and a couch and oval table, and its urn of flowers were the only articles of furniture the nook contained, and the busts were John Brooke and Beth, Amy's work, both excellent likenesses, and both full of placid beauty, which always recalls the saying that clay represents life, plaster death, marble immortality. On the right, as became the founder of the house, hung the portrait of Mr. Lawrence, with its expression of mingled pride and benevolence as fresh and attractive as when he caught the girl Jo admiring it. Opposite was Aunt March, a legacy to Amy, and in an imposing turban, immense sleeves and long mittens decorously crossed on the front of her plum-colored satin gown. Time had mellowed the severity of her aspect, and the fixed regard of the handsome old gentleman opposite seemed to account for the amiable simper on her lips that had not uttered a sharp word for years. In the place of honor, with the sunshine warm upon it, and a green garland always round it, was Marmy's beloved face, painted with a grateful skill by a great artist whom she had befriended when poor and unknown. So beautifully lifelike was it that it seemed to smile down upon her daughters, saying cheerfully, "Be happy, I'm still with you, or I am with you still." The three sisters stood a moment looking up at the beloved picture with eyes full of tender reverence and the longing that never left them, for this noble mother had been so much to them, no one could ever fill her place. Only 2 years since she had gone away to live and love anew, leaving such a sweet memory behind her, that it was both an inspiration and a comfort to all the household. They felt this as they drew closer to one another, and Laurie put it into words as he said earnestly, "I can ask nothing better for my child than that she may be a woman like our mother. Please God, she shall be, if I can do it, for I owe the best I can have to this dear saint." Just then a fresh voice began to sing Ave Maria in the music room, and Bess unconsciously echoed her father's prayer for her as she dutifully obeyed his wishes. The soft sound of the air Marmee used to sing led the listeners back into the world again. From that monetary reaching after the loved and lost, and they sat together near the open windows enjoying the music, while Laurie brought them tea, making the little service pleasant by the tender care he gave to it. Whew! This glasses need cleaning. There's so much to do today. All I want to do is go back to sleep. Sorry, guys. Gals. Squirrels. Now, where'd I stop? Care he gave to it. Nat came in with Demi, soon followed by Ted and Josie, the professor and his faithful Rob, all anxious to hear more about the boys. The rattle of cups and tongues grew brisk, and the setting sun saw a cheerful company resting in the bright room after the varied labors of the day. Professor Bear was gray now, but robust and genial as ever, for he had the work he loved and did it so heartily, that the whole college felt his beautiful influence. Rob was as much like him as possible for a boy to be, and was already called the young professor. He so adored study and closely imitated his honored father in all ways. Well, hearts dearest, as we go to have our boys again, I'll too, and may rejoice greatly, said Mr. Bear, seating himself beside Joe with a beaming face and a handshake of congratulations. Oh, Fritz, I'm so delighted about Emil. And if you approve about Franz also, did you know, Ludmilla, is it a wise match? Asked Mrs. Joe, handing him her cup of tea and drawing closer, as if she welcomed her refuge in joy as well as sorrow. It goes well. I saw the Madchen when I went over to place Franz. A child then, but most sweet and charming. Blumenthal is satisfied, I think, and the boy will be happy. He is too German to be content away from Vaterland, so we shall have him as a link between the new and the old, and that pleases me much. And Emil, is he to be second mate next voyage? Isn't that fine? I'm so happy that both your boys have done well. You gave up so much for them and their mother. You make light of it, dear, but I never forget it, said Joe, with her hand in his as sentimentally as if she was a girl again and her Fritz had come a-wooing. He laughed his cheery laugh and whispered behind her fan, if I had not come to America for the poor lads, I never should have found my Joe. The hardest times are very sweet now, and I bless God for all I seem to lose, because I gained the blessing of my life. Oh, I've hardly read any, but I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I can come back later and hopefully read some more, although, like I said, today is a busy day. So, be sweet. Don't be ugly. Love you all. Mwah.